I miss just the passion of being in the stadium, watching the players, how they interact with the fans.
When it comes back to sports, we can all just connect about just those moments.
It provides an escape of reality.
Sports is the spinal cord for us in this country.
This is a country that's completely obsessed with the game.
I think it's such a big part of our life. I mean, it's one of the pillars that our societies kind of stand on.
On the 11th of March 2020, the NBA shut down its playing operation. Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz had tested positive for COVID-19. The NHL swiftly followed suit as the lights went down on live sport in North America's major leagues.
For a lot of people, it just wasn't real. People couldn't really understand the severity of it.
We went home from work, turned on NBA games that night, and watched our season fall apart.
It was insane because we've never gone through anything like this. To have every sports league, professional and college, just automatically shut down within days of each other.
The first few days, I was skeptical about it. I thought it was an overreaction. And then as soon as you learn more, you do your research, you kind of get some of the same information that the powers that be within the NBA and NHL were getting. You understand, wow, good on you guys for making the right decision at the right time.
I was happy and proud that the NBA did it, and it acted so quickly because that escalated into all sports pretty much across the world.
It was all so quick. It was very abrupt. There was a couple of days where we didn't really know what was going on, and then, kind of everyone kind of went their separate ways.
There's definitely a lot of craziness going on, but there's a lot of great things going on too. The best sides of people are coming out.
Major League Baseball's spring training was halted ahead of the traditional opening day, scheduled for the 26th of March. Having had the Super Bowl in February, the NFL was in off-season, but professional sport never sleeps. 3 months on, questions remain as to how and when major leagues will return and what impact the coronavirus pandemic will have on sport in North America.
I actually had called our mayor and asked for a meeting. It was on a Wednesday morning in her office to discuss the game we're to play the next day. She was feeling a huge amount of pressure to take action quickly. So by the time I left her office, we had decided that we would play the game the next night, but we would play with no fans. So at that point, our team was practicing in our practice facility at Chase Center, went down and addressed the team and just told them that we were going to play tomorrow night against the New Jersey Nets, but we were going to be the first NBA game played with no fans. There were a lot of quizzical looks, a lot of stunned silence, a lot of what's that going to be like? Stephen Curry, our best player, broke the silence by saying, "Can we have our own music playlist?" I promised him that he could have his own music playlist, and spent the rest of the day planning with our staff how we were going to present the game, what changes we needed to make, what we needed to do to make that happen.
It was a bizarre night to start with because everybody that went to the arena that night on March 11th, it seemed like there was kind of an understanding of this might be the last game that you're at to watch in person for a while. As a reporter, your spidey sense starts tingling there, and you're like, what's going on here? And then there was kind of a bizarre situation with Gobert where he was questionable for the game. But the true moment that I knew something was going down was when I saw their head medical staffer, Donnie Strack, come running off the bench. I mean, players are on the court, ball's about to go up, game's going to start, and he comes running off the court and calls the 3 game officials over to him. It was obvious to me that something was happening, and I turned right to one of the Thunder staffers sitting next to me, and I was like, I knew it. This has something to do with Gobert. And I'm also fully aware of how massively important this story is. This is, a major North American sport is now being shut down, and a player has kind of brought the virus publicly to the country. And I'm in the building where this is happening. And so it's a big deal. Oklahoma State Health Department officials all in nurses gear and masks and gloves kind of show up to test all the players. And you're kind of like, whoa, that makes it kind of a little surreal about what's actually going on, just like 50 feet behind that door that I'm standing next to.
For the players, shutting down the season so swiftly came as a shock as the playoffs were fast approaching.
It was a sad day. We were dead smack into like the heart of the season, and Adam Silver was the guy who led us. He made a decision to shut the NBA down, and we supported him as players because we knew we was the pioneers and the leaders in that space of making hard, crucial decisions that can affect and will affect a lot of people.
You could sense it, like, holy moly, right? It's like, this is really happening. Now it's really like almost like a wake-up call. Now it's really serious. Now we can't ignore it anymore. We can't just pretend that this is not happening here. It's happening here, and it has proven to have happened and has hit the country very greatly.
The National Basketball Players Association, which is based in New York, was founded in 1954. It is the union that serves to protect the athletes of the NBA. Sherry Deans is the executive director of their foundation, which leads the charitable efforts across the nation.
I guess since March 11th, when the last game, the season was suspended, we've tracked almost $5 million in player contributions. It's unprecedented. I mean, they've always been generous, but that much giving in this short amount of time is just nothing like I've ever seen.
I think they have an amazing platform right now. And we have, one of the most famous players in the world, in Stephen Curry, who chooses without prompting to consistently do the right thing every day. We're just blown away to have that be the face of our franchise. I mean, we have a famous doctor, I don't know if you're following Dr. Fauci, who's advising the White House on strategy for dealing with the coronavirus. But, if I tried to call Dr. Fauci today, I'm not sure he would have time to return my telephone call.
Hey, Steph, how are you doing? I'm good. How are you? Very good.
When Stephen Curry calls him, he ends up with a huge show on Instagram with Stephen Curry interviewing him. And the audience that he's reaching are people who are, need to be aware of this. It may not be the best consumers of traditional media.
I think you have to utilize social media for what you want out of it. You have to do meaningful things. You have to make it work for yourself. It's impacting us at the end of the day, and if we're not educated on what's going on around us, then it really doesn't matter what anybody says. We have to educate ourselves. We have to be self-educated in order to understand the realm that we're in and what's going on around us.
Leadership shows up in all kinds of places. If we're going to be reminded of how important these communities are and how necessary it is for us to all care, it's going to require people that have the influence and leverage that our players have. And the thing is, there's no NBA contract that you can sign that takes you out of the pool of being a Black person. Their families are being affected, their friends are being affected, and it's just personal.
We have to be accountable, right? I think people who have voices and powerful voices and have a group of people who will listen to them, we have to continue speaking out. We're angry, we're dealing with COVID, we're dealing with our own issues, we're dealing with our own mental health issues, we're dealing with our community, the lack thereof. We have all of this stuff that's in a bubble, and eventually if we come out of this and we're left behind, that bubble is going to be burst, and I don't think the country wants to see that.
Pau Gasol has won the NBA title twice, but since the start of lockdown, he has been putting his energy into fundraising, linking up with other Spanish athletes, including Rafael Nadal, to raise $12 million to help those affected by coronavirus. And on top of that, Gasol has been helping feed those who haven't been able to afford food in the United States.
We have to be proactive and creative as far as providing the service that they need more now than ever. Children cannot go to school, they cannot go to class, they cannot get the meals that they used to get at school. So we're trying to provide those meals, and we try to encourage them to do these challenges at home. I'll record it, and then we put it out, and then we encourage the families to do the same, to dance for a few minutes, and get yourself moving, even if it's silly, and laugh. Laughing is very healthy. It's been fun to be kind of in the videos, being silly too. It has been hard for me being away from my family in Spain. Now, I try to think about my day, my routine, my actions, what I can control, what is in my hand, make every day a good day, a productive day, knowing that there's going to be some ups and downs. I love to read. I love to listen to music, meditate. I love to journal. Those are habits that kind of balance you and allow you to kind of release some of that negativity and tension and stress.
The NBA plans to resume in late July in Orlando, with 22 teams competing for 16 playoff spots. The National Hockey League was also approaching the end of its regular season when the shutdown occurred. With an intention from the start to award the Stanley Cup, the NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman had similar issues to that of the NBA. Ensuring player safety came first, but also an added complication of the 7 Canadian teams and how they would compete in the U.S. with border restrictions in place.